gamers, this is the first time I'm making this type of video, but let's see how it goes. Maybe you guys like it, and maybe I'll do it once a season. So this is what you can expect in season 11, which is the season we're currently in. It just started. So there's a new map pool that actually I can show you right now. So this is the 1 versus 1 map pool. So Altai has been changed a little bit. Archipelago, Canal, Carmel, Dry Arabian, Lightened Horizon, Gorge, Hillendale, Rocky River, and Sunken Lands. I will give you guys a little preview on how to play each one of these maps in this season, what civs are good on it, what styles are good on it, but let's first cover everything that is new. Next thing is the new team games map pool right here. I'm not gonna go through all of them, but there you go. We also have a new game mode that is in, which I have not played yet, but people are already saying it is a lot of fun. It's called Chaotic Climate, and apparently you get buffs depending which season it is. I'm assuming for all your units or something like that. Again, I haven't played it yet, so I don't know. Now, that is as far as the map pool. Meta we'll talk a little bit later. Let's talk about what are the biggest changes in Season 11. So obviously I did the patch notes review, so I'll just give you a quick TLDR. There is obviously an event for different things you can unlock, different badges. These are the Conqueror badges, solo rank, team rank, map pool rotation. The biggest changes that happen in terms of balance and in terms of gameplay is number 1, the deer pushing is gone. Yes, you can push the deer a little bit, but it's completely nerfed and you can no longer push the deer all the way to your landmark. So that is gone, okay? Next thing, Abbasid got a slight buff. Byzantine got slight buff that's pretty much negligible. Fire Lancers got buffed a little bit. English farms got buffed 5%. You have Holy Roman Empire receiving 5% nerf on inspiration. Then we had Malians, Mansa Javelineers getting a slight nerf. Mongol Khaganate Palace receiving basically 6 to 10 seconds nerf on every single unit that is coming out of it. Ottoman had some changes for their Vizier points. Some of them got buffed. A lot of them got buffed. So there it is. Janissary did receive slight nerf against cavalry and on the upgrade. Ruslet received slight nerf to the High Trade House. And then probably the biggest change in terms of civilizations, House of Lancaster received a lot of nerfs. But to be fair, even though these nerfs, there's a lot of them, House of Lancaster is still most likely going to be pretty good. We've seen some buffs to Genitors for Knights Templar, and Hospitalier Commander increases worker speed, and Schlachta Cavalry got nerfed a little bit, so not much has changed. And there's a change for Gold League, and I say this, no memes. This upgrade is not really used at the top level, but I think OTD is very strong in low leagues because of Golden Cuirass upgrade, so now it's from 30% to 20% where the damage reduction starts with the upgrade, and it's also increased in cost a little bit, so I think that's a pretty cool change for lower leagues. Let's talk about the tournaments. The tournaments that we're going to see in Season 11, obviously there's a lot of smaller tournaments. These are the biggest tournaments. This is the EGC Master Summer, the tournament that I am currently in, that I'll be playing. It is going on from June 21st to July 13th. It's going to be going for another about 2 weeks. This is the current situation, but there's going to be more and more matches, so plenty of matches there. And then Wayman with Age of RTS and SteelSeries and World's Edge is organizing the LAN tournament, the first LAN tournament, the first major LAN tournament this year that's happening. It is going to be Masters of Steel Invitational, even though only 2 invites, me and Marine Lord, the rest were qualifiers. So this will be in-person event. This is going to be happening in Copenhagen in Denmark, okay? So that is happening July 24th to July 27th. So basically EGC tournament is ending on 14th of July, and then 10 days later, we have to be in Denmark to play the tournament. And these are the players: me, Marine Lord, Louis, Poppy Paw, Vortex, AnnoChat, Wham, and CS2DO. Now, what else can you expect in Season 11? Let's talk about the playstyles, the meta, and how to play the maps, which I'm sure a lot of you are interested about. Now, there was a video last season that I made how to play the maps and which civs to pick on them. So I figured to kind of combine that into just giving you guys full preview on what's new, what's changed in the whole season, not just in terms of maps, but in terms of play styles, balance, tournaments, and so on and so forth. Let's get started. We'll start with Altai. We'll start from over here, which makes sense. So Altai is apparently changed a little bit. There is a point of interest now in each in one corner next to your base, and then the other corner is the market. And basically it's kind of like opened up a little bit. If you never played Altai, this is one of the OG maps that has been changed quite a bit. It is somewhat campy. You do have a deer very close to your town center, so any civilization that rushes castle or civilization that wants to go 2TC, it is very easy to do so just because there's a cliff right next to your base, so it makes your base very kind of, you know, comfy. Let's just say that. So on Altai, the civilizations that are probably going to be played the most are civilizations like China, Jushi, HRE, OTD, maybe English, stuff like that. You probably want to avoid playing civilizations like French or JD on this map simply because you're not going to have a lot of space for raiding because everything is just so cramped up. Probably Malian would be really good. So yeah, Altai is back after a really, really long time. I don't even remember the last time I played this map. Archipelago. Now, this is the classic standard water map. The best civs on it. KT, by far the best civilization for water maps. HRE, OTD, China, Jushi Legacy. Potentially English is in there too. Those are going to be the best civilizations for water. There's some other ones that you can play, but these ones are kind of leading the charge. So if you don't want to be playing on water, I mean, just veto it and move along. But if you're playing on it, you need to go water. Canal. Now this is a map that I don't know if it started off as a tournament map and now it's in the game. I can't remember which order it was in, but this map has a lot of fishing. I think it has between 14 and 16 shoreline fish per player. So if you're playing Canal, my suggestion is that you definitely go for a dock. So your goal is to go for a dock to get a lot of fishing going, and then the map is extremely open so you can push your opponent and punish your opponent. It is a very hard to play map, potentially the hardest map to play on this whole map pool, because there's just a lot of stuff going on and it's very hard to defend. So civilizations that are probably very good on this map: Mongol because of the early aggression, Japanese because of the early aggression, and Shinobi. You have KT, obviously that's going to be really, really good. Ottoman, any civilization that can fight in Dark Age pretty well and contest that water is going to be a very good civ on this map. That doesn't mean you can't play the other maps, but those are going to be probably the best ones. Maybe even Delhi because their fishing ships can shoot. Next one is Carmel. Carmel, not much has changed since the last season. This is a map that is very popular for professional scouting. So if you're playing a civilization that goes pro scouting, it is very, very good. So French, JD, China, Jushi Legacy, HRE, OTD, probably missing some, but yeah, those kinds of civs are the best. Now you can play civilizations like Japanese where you go fast castle on it too, but in general, pro scouting, Rus too, yeah, that's right. In general, pro scouting civs dominate Carmel pretty hard. Tri-Arabia is the most standard map in AO4, which is any civ is viable on it, in my opinion. I don't think there's one civ that is not good on Tri-Arabia, so no matter what civ you play, we love Tri-Arabia. Enlightened Horizon. Enlightened Horizon is a map that you're supposed to open with barracks in Dark Age and capture points of interest and then destroy the wolf dens that give you gold. So this map is heavily favored towards a civilization that is good in Dark Age, but not Mongol, interesting enough, because their barracks arrive too late. So the civilization you want to play here are Japanese, KT, House of Lancaster. You can also play English here, Ottoman. I don't know if I said Japanese. Those are the best civs for this map, and then everything else is kind of drops off. HRE also good here actually, but after that everything drops off quite a bit in terms of how good they are. Gorge can be played a few different ways. What the map does favor is heavy cavalry. So Altai is basically very favored towards infantry because the map is so closed off. On the other side, Gorge is very heavy into cavalry because the map is extremely hard to wall, so it is very, very open. You can play 2TC, you can play Pro Scouts, you can even play Castle Rush, but in general, you can play pretty much any civilization here. Next one, Hillendale. Now, Hillendale has received some changes in the past. I don't know when was the last change, but in general, it's a map where you start with deer, so the all-ins on this map are not very popular. The most popular strategies are going to be either 2TC because you have safe deer pack in your base, or Castle Rush because you have a deer pack safe in your base. You can go Pro Scouting, but because one of the deer pack is in your base, that means that if you're going for Pro Scouting, opponent already has one deer pack safe in their base, and you also have one too, so it's not as valuable. So 2TC or Castle Rushes. In general, civilizations that are good for either of those things are playable here. But the interesting thing is you can also play French or JD or some of them more aggressive. You just need to play them differently. So if you play French or JD, going for a cock landmark is very good here. Mongol is very good on Hillendale because of the trade. So you can pretty much play anything from 2TC, castle rushing, or trading. Rocky River. Now, Rocky River is a map that is a hybrid map, but it's a bit of a weird one. I would say at the top level, there's a specific way you need to play, but if you're playing ladder casually, you can go for water, but you also don't need to because each pond has 4 to 5 fish. So while fishing is good, you can get away with going 2TC on this map or just straight up Castle Rush or Dark Age Aggression. So I've even played Pro Scouts on this map, so you can literally do anything, although it is a bit weird because there is fishing involved. The next one is Sunken Lands, and Sunken Lands is another map that is, I would say, pretty standard. I don't think there's any civilization you cannot play on it. Any playstyle I think is good. You can go Pro Scouting. I would probably advise you not to do Castle Rush on this map because you start with the small gold. So if you go Castle Rush, you might run out of gold and then you just kind of die. So 2TC, Pro Scouting, just all-in aggression, I think are all pretty good strategies on it. And regarding civs, you can pretty much play any of them. I don't think it favors a specific style or civilization, just because it's an open map, it's a standard map. There's nothing super weird about it, but be careful to not run out of gold. That's all I'm going to say. And that is pretty much it. So I just wanted to make this video. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this type of content, basically giving you all the TLDR of everything new that's happened in Season 11. I think in Season 11, this is probably the smallest patch we've had in a while. In terms of new stuff that is brought to the game. There's been some balance changes and stuff, but that's kind of it. So that's all you got to know for Season 11. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. If you're watching live, let's keep going.